Are we going to use the mobile?
Huh?
You already put it on as the mobile app?
Text me and I'll text you back. Text me and I'll text you back. Text me and I'll text you back. You text me then I'll text you back. Text me then I'll text you back. TikTok, you don't stop. I will help you make your paper stack. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now? 205-964-52439. Yep. 205-964-52439. You know.
Oh, down, take it down. Good afternoon, and welcome to what we got. This Daily Live, Wholesale Real Estate. Topic today is: can you wholesale houses part-time? Can you wholesale houses if you have a full-time job? I guess that's the same thing, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So we're here to answer your questions one by one from all over Alabama. But we're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, the Twitter, Twitch, and so make sure that you like on any platform that you're on, and share this if possible. But
I don't have time on here.
okay, that's fine. You don't see the time.
Mm-mm.
What do you mean?
Like, you know how you have the time based on.
Oh, it's not started. It's not started.
Oh. You didn't tell me to start recording.
Oh, I thought I had did it. So, anyway, back to programming. So, what we got, ladies?
Nothing right now, but you want to tell them, can they still come on live with you?
Oh, yeah. If you want to get pushed to the front of the line and ask your questions live, just text the word Gator, like alligator, but just Gator, Gato, Gator, R. And you can get on the live stream with me and ask your questions with an R. Question.
I don't have anything right now. Exception Mason from YouTube said that she's sharing right now.
Oh, thank you so much, Exception Mason. Mason. Thank you very much, young lady. Thank you.
They're just saying, hey.
Oh, okay. Well, hello to you all. While we're waiting, then I released a video today. You all on Instagram, and you know what? I can turn it around. Whenever you do it, I'll turn it around, flip it around here.
You want me to do it now?
Yeah. I released a video today, uploaded to YouTube. This young man in Atlanta, 22 years old. I think he was a little younger than that, but 22 years old, and he wholesaled his first commercial property, which was a self-storage facility, and he and a partner flipped $90,000. Okay, that's the world that you get into with commercials. So if you're interested in watching that video, you can text me, but you can just simply go to YouTube and do a search for 22-year-old $90,000 in flip man, or you just probably put in that $90,000 in flip man, and you'll see this video up. So I guess we should have some questions now.
Yes, the first question is on Instagram. How do you know when to wholesale and when to flip?
That's going to be a preference. One of them, it takes literally no money or credit. The other one does. So whenever you have those resources, you want to do one over the other. That's going to be up to you. Now, if you're just talking about just return on investment, you can't compare the two. Wholesaling the house, if you spend, what did I say? Oh, like video from last week I uploaded where my man Ken out of Ohio, what happened?
Instagram is saying they can't hear you.
Oh, they can't hear me?
Or no, TikTok.
TikTok?
This is Instagram.
That's Instagram. TikTok said they can't hear me?
Yeah.
Well, it's moving.
Well, I'm not sure if they're saying you or that's what I'm saying. They said, why can't you hear him? I'm not sure if they're speaking to somebody. I'm confused on that. So,
Oh, if more people say it, then, but the audio button,
right, that's working.
Oh, I think it's just maybe him.
oh, okay, yeah, okay. All right, so, what I was saying?
Wholesaling versus.
Oh, versus flipping. He split $20, made 10,000. That's 49,900%. You can't get that nowhere, like literally nowhere, right? Maybe if you're buying an NFT or something, but that's a crapshoot. So for most people, but it's up to you. You make money with both. Is my point. I'm just letting you know which one has the dwarfing return on investment. Plus, there's no barrier to entry for someone that wants to wholesale. Well, for flipping, there's a serious barrier to entry. You need for the resources, the money. So.
All right, this is the first question on TikTok. Can I partner with you? They're from Georgia.
Yeah, text, it's up there somewhere. Text 5050 to the phone number you see here, the 205-964-5243. Also, you see here on my, what we call this? My prop here. My prop holding my iPad here. I bought this at, I thought it was one of the most beautifulest things I had ever seen. At what's it? Michael's? I think I was at Michael. Oh, it's Bed Bath. Yeah, Bed Bath and you was with me that day? Okay, Bed Bath and Beyond. I said, oh my, I bought two for the office, only one here. Something happened to one of them, and bought one for home, bought one for my mother. It's just beautiful. Now that's if you use an iPad, using a tablet or whatever, like laying in the bed and stuff.
All right.
Researching. But this word time here, if you're trying to, if you have, if you signed up for PropStream through Dealulator and you want free training on it, just text time to the 205-964-5243, and we'll train you how we use it to make bread, how to use it properly.
Okay, this question is from YouTube, from Cal Brown. He said, what's the pros and cons when driving for dollars versus virtual?
Well, virtual, obviously, you have no limitations on where you can reach out to, assuming you have some form of assistance in those markets. So one of them, you can have a better use of time, and you can open up to a much larger area. So you're really nothing to compare. You're limited if you're driving for dollars in the city that you're in versus virtual, assuming that both of them you can be successful at. Virtual is going to dwarf it. Just think about it. You're basically driving for dollars in as many cities as you can make it happen. So that's nothing to think about.
Okay, Daniel Harris said, do you offer any deals or partnership deals? How you get that percent? I'm thinking he means like
how does it
maybe
work?
You partner with deals?
Yeah, ideally the way it works, if you submit a deal over to us, and you have it under contract, you're dealing directly with the owner. It's a great deal and it's off market. And if those four things are in place, you submit it over to us, we can place a buyer with it, we'll split it 50-50. Now, if you're not sure about what makes a great deal, I did a recent video on why most wholesalers fail. Just go to YouTube and do a search for that title, why most wholesalers fail, and then put Flipman behind it. It's basically showing you how to use my deal calculator and repair estimate calculator. Now, you'll also need the ARV video. So if you text the letters ARV to the 205-964-5243, that video will explain how to come up with ARV. So if you watch both of those videos, there shouldn't really be any excuse on you not being able to figure out what makes a great deal or not. So 'cause that's where it all starts. to prevent you from wasting time on stuff that has no chance of being a deal.
Okay, Exception Mason from YouTube asked, are you familiar with crowdfunding?
Yeah, that's your what do they call it? The one that's most popular. GoFundMe. There you go. Kickstarter. There you go. Now those are just for anything. Now they have crowdfunding similar sites for real estate, which is I guess an investment vehicle or purchasing vehicle. I've never participated in any of it on any level, so but I am aware of it. It's nothing that I've actually done before.
All right, we have a birthday wish for
For me?
nope, somebody else's birthday on here.
All right.
Is it _boy_Cass? Your boy Cass. Yeah, okay. What I said, y'all. Yeah, your boy _Cass.
There it is. Your boy Cash, well, happy birthday to you and many, many more. Keep banging them out, man. Make every day your birthday.
All right, this is back on TikTok. What about working together on deals in Missouri?
Yeah, we were, as long as you're in one of the largest metropolitan areas, most definitely.
All right, this is also on TikTok. What is the best skip tracing program out there?
Well, I'm affiliated with Skip Vault. I'm gonna have an affiliation with them. So if you go to skip to flip, if you text the word skip to the phone number here on the screen, 205-964-5243. In that video, we're explaining how to use the service.
Let's see. This one's from, and you kind of already answered this, but this one's from Celia Neely. She says, "Can I partner with you from South Carolina?"
Yeah, as long as we're in the largest city. So text 5050 to the phone number on the screen. Right.
Okay.
Ciao.
Jabri Love Life from Facebook. His question is, what's a good source to find commercial wholesale leads?
Wow. Well, number one, it depends on the type of property that you're targeting. My man, Greg, the young man that I was speaking about earlier, that I released a video where he and a partner made $90,000 on it. They basically just drove for dollars, and they accidentally found that property, which is an interesting story. They actually were lost,
Wow.
and they found the property, and so this money fell out of the sky. So part it could that's part of it. Now there are resources out there depending on what you're targeting. There's a website similar to PropStream, but it's for commercial. It's called Reonomy. Spelled REONOMY. But it's a little pricey, but it has pretty much every commercial property or the majority of commercial properties in the country, depending on what you want to target. What's great about Reonomy, even if it's in an LLC, it still will give you, in a lot of cases, the owners of that property and their actual phone number and email address. So that's why it's so valuable. And so from there, it's all about just doing research and then reaching out to those particular property owners as needed. Now, I've done, a few over the years, and Greg just really inspired me, you know what I'm saying, to step the game up on that. And I pay for that service and don't use it nearly as I should or whatever. So, especially like with self-storage or multifamily, a lot of times those are mom and pop owners. And, those individuals are a lot easier to reach versus a corporation, and a lot easier to deal with. And a lot of times those properties are being mismanaged. So, and that's what, you normally will capitalize on dealing with those type of properties. So hopefully that answers your question, Mr. Jabri. Love life.
Okay. Terrence Ellis from YouTube said, "Can we see scenarios on how wholesaling really works?"
What does he mean, like scenarios, as far as like stories?
I guess so.
I have a YouTube channel full of them, like starting with today. The one I released today. If you go to my YouTube channel, you will see tons of interviews and testimonials of people with their own story, how they put their first deal together, maybe other deals, and all of them are different. So I assume that's what you mean. So.
All right. Daniel Harris said, how do you find land with homes on them to invest on? How do you find land with home on them to invest on?
I'm not sure what he means by
I
that.
guess land with a house already on it.
Well,
Yeah.
they
just
all are
finding a
sitting
house.
on land. They all are sitting on land, right? That's why I don't understand what he means. Yeah. Rephrase that for us, my man.
This one's from David Taylor. He said, what do you do if there is no title companies in your county that you want to work with?
In the entire county, unless you're in a very small county, Dave, what's his name? David. Wow, that's, now again, it depends on where you are. Like we're in Birmingham, when you're in a metropolitan area, you may be dealing with multiple counties. So those businesses may be in one county versus all, but they service multiple counties or whatever. So if you could be a little bit more clear with that question.
All right, we have one on Instagram. Do you know of a limit of flipping properties in Illinois?
Without a license, one per year is what it's supposed to be. But if I was in Illinois, I would, as I've mentioned numerous times, I would just partner with a struggling broker.
All right, this is also on Instagram. What do you do if you go door knocking and they say, how are you gonna buy my house cash? You have that much money, you're young. And then they also ask, is door knocking safe?
It just depends. It always can be a situation. I can't say nothing is 100% safe. Sit at home on your phone, it technically could not be safe. I'm sure it's sort of safer than door knocking. But if someone asks you a question, how can you buy my house because you're so young? I'll say, well, I didn't know that they had limitations on how much. I didn't know they had an age limit on how much money someone could have. So, you just have to just get back with them in a nice way. I didn't know they had an age limit on the amount of money you could have. This is America.
All right, run to sway. I think run to sway from YouTube. He said, where do you find cash buyers?
Well, there are a number of ways you'll find cash buyers, depending if you have a deal in place or not. If you text the word buyers to the phone number 205-964-5243, I show you one method of using real estate agents to target flippers, which are buyers in your particular market. Now, and you could do that whether you have a property under contract or not. Now, you could network, going to maybe tax auctions or just pre-foreclosure or foreclosure auctions. You can use bandit signs similar to the one right here. Maybe you have a deal under contract or not. It could be a phantom sign in reality. So other wholesalers may have buyers for you. What am I missing? When you have a property in the contract, you market that property. We don't have it up on the board anymore, do we? Facebook Marketplace, Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, Craigslist. What am I missing? Sales signs. Google search. Just do a simple Google search, and those first 2 or 3 pages of results are normally going to be serious players in your market. Some of them are wholesalers. Some of them will be the buyers. So there's going to be a number of ways. But yeah, if you text the word buyers with an S to the 205-964-5243, I think you'll find that video useful.
Okay, this one's from For the Love of Beauty from YouTube. They said, what is the best avenue for designers and creatives who want to work with wholesalers and investors who don't want to do that part of the work? Any places you seek those services?
Designers and creatives.
And
Do you mean like for social media or for websites or for what? You know, if you for the love of beauty, if you could be a little bit more clear when you say designers and creatives of from what industry or what industry
Yeah.
types would be
Because they're not fixing up the house, so they don't need them to do like.
so I guess I guess they need to clear up what they mean, but because I was thinking about tech, you thinking about like renovations or like staging as they call it, things like that, and maybe that's what they're referring to. So what is the best avenue for a designer girl who want to work? You know what I would do if I was going to do staging for flippers?
Yeah, she said for remodeling, etc.
Okay, you know what I would do? I would offer to do it for someone for free. You got to have the furniture anyway to do it, right, Oksana?
I mean, for staging, yes.
Yeah, you're gonna have to have it anyway, right?
Yeah.
So now for staging, I'm just talking about staging. You may have to get into other services that you're offering. Yeah, well, yeah. When you do it for free, you know, when you get it for free, you offer value. So you let them know, hey, I'll do this first one for free. You know, if you like what I do, hopefully we could do business in the future. You know, especially if it helps to move your property faster. And so now, whenever agents show the property, guess what you'll have in there? You just have in the yard property staged by blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? So when people walk through, and obviously the agents probably won't get in investors, but agents will probably be the referral that you'll be looking for. That boom, there you go. Famous words of Gary V, jab, 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 jab. Then occasional punch, some money might fall out.
All right, this is on Instagram. Where can I find commercial buyers?
Well, that same website that I just mentioned, obviously those are sellers in there, but guess what? They like to buy more. So that site is full of actual buyers all over the country. You can go through commercial brokers, which is going to be a huge part of where you will find buyers for potential deals. So from just those two sources is going to be the best way to find buyers, in my opinion, through commercial brokers and through sources like a Reonomy that provides that type of data.
All right, this is also on Instagram. When putting up bandit signs, do you put your own business number on the signs or a number that can't be traced back to you?
We use a third party. It's just too much technology out there to put your own business, your own cell phone out there on it, your own smartphone number out there. We use a service called Vumber.com. Spelled V as in Victor, UMBER instead of number. It's Vumber. If you go to YouTube and do a search for best phone numbers and put Flip Man behind it, in that video, I show you how we use it. Now, that's not the only service out there by no means. I'm just answering the question. It's what we use. I have no affiliation with them. They need to, but I don't.
Mm-hmm. All right, this is also on Instagram. How would you pitch a deal to a struggling real estate broker?
Well, you say, well, I wasn't talking about, we were talking about Illinois, not pitch a deal to them, but pitching a partnership. I assume that's what you're responding to. They asked me how many houses can you wholesale in the state of Illinois. There are 3 states currently that I'm aware of in the city of Philadelphia, PA, that require you to have a license. In those 3 states, Illinois, Kansas, and Oklahoma, they require to have a real estate license. In the city of Philadelphia, the last time I discussed it with someone that would know, they require you to have a wholesaler's license. So it's more like a business license. So it's not a big deal. In those other states, they require you to have the license. That means you got to take the test and all that. So trust me, there are tons of real estate agents, real estate brokers in Illinois, I think that's the way they title them, that are struggling. So you're going to provide an opportunity for them, right? You all partner. So how do you get paid? Everything has to go through the agent in their name or whatever, right? So you all establish a business relationship or an actual business entity of some sort, an LLC, and you create a marketing firm. Within that marketing firm, you all do web development. So each time that you all put a house under contract, right, you go register the domain name, the website name for that address on that house. If the house address was 123 Main Street, you would register 123mainstreet.com, .net, whatever you want to choose. It really doesn't matter. Then you would set up use one of the free website building tools such as Weebly or Wix and build out a site. Just put photos and video of the property on that site. So whenever you all close on it, say if you all are going to make, I don't know, $12,000 and you're going to split it 50-50, you sell the website to that agent, to that broker for your share of the deal, which will be $6,000. That is legal. They cannot, agents buy all types of services, right? Including websites. You can do that as much as you want. Someone tell me that's legal, show me why it would be illegal. If I build a website and you want to pay $6,000 for it, you sell it for that. I perform this service to help you move this property. I want my money once you get paid. Boom.
Boom. All right, Kyle Brown. I feel like being from the South, I can't say that.
Kyle
Brown. He said, "Hey Ty, if you was in Georgia, which areas would you focus on?"
Well, you're going to focus on you talk about residential properties, houses, obviously Atlanta, that's one of the bigger cities in the country, population-wise, right? So that entire market, 5 to 7 million people, you really don't have to go out beyond that point. But you got Columbus, you got Savannah, I guess even Athens. I think those are the bigger cities in the state of Georgia. So, you're going to stay in the more populated area. The more people, the more deals, period. The less people, the less deals.
Okay, Mr. Wilkes from YouTube said, "How would you go about doing a deal with a tenant-occupied property?"
You do it the same way. Still going to boil down to the numbers. Now, accessing that property may be a little more difficult. Sometimes sellers do not want you to go into that property at all if there's a tenant there. So now, Mr. Seller, we got to negotiate I can't see the house price versus the price already needed, a sight unseen price. All right. Now, if they allow you to see the property, then you just have to make arrangements on it. That's where, like if you're doing virtual wholesaling, the seller may not provide access to the property or show the property without them being there. So when your buyers show up, if no one's there to represent you, it could spell trouble. So that's where another wholesaler, friend or family member or a real estate agent would assist you with representing you. But just make it happen.
This one's from David Taylor. He's the one who said he couldn't find a title company in his county. He said there are no title companies in my county that work with wholesalers.
Well, let me ask you this, David. Do you have a deal in place? Meaning, do you have a seller in the contract and a buyer in the contract, or are you just calling around? And what state did I asked that? What city and state are you talking about?
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, somebody asked him, "How do they know you're a wholesaler, David?" Is that something that they have to know? For the Love of Beauty asked him that.
Well, yeah, they're going to have to know that's how the transaction is going to be performed or whatever. But if he can answer those other questions.
Okay, Shan B from YouTube said, "I came across a seller with 50 storage units. I did not know how to evaluate it and did not find enough info to feel comfortable to wholesale. Are you open to JV with these types of deals?"
Shan, yes. Please reach out to me right now. Just text me right here. And we'll communicate.
She can't see it because there's a lot of banners up, but the number is 205-964.
She can't see it, Rachel?
No, because I have the banner on the
Tom. She can't.
yeah on the thing.
She sees
Oh.
It's behind him too.
But it's behind me too. I don't know if she can see that. Man, this is my thing up here useless.
My bad. Okay, this was from John Doe.
But hit me up, Shan. 205-964-5243.
Okay, this one's from John
Now
Doe
you
on
know.
YouTube. They said, "I'm a newbie in Bessemer, Alabama, in the Bessemer area. My two questions are, is the market saturated here in Jefferson County? And what friendly title companies do you recommend?"
No, it's not. And text me and I'll tell you. I'll reckon they ain't paying me, so I ain't gonna just call their name out. Just text me, and I'll share with who you can use, who to ask for.
All right, this is on TikTok. What about Texas with partner with a realtor?
You don't have to do that in Texas. It's open game. I was in Dallas. When was that? On the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. I was in Dallas, Texas.
All right, this is also on TikTok. Does the earnest money deposit go to the seller from the wholesaler?
Well, no, you don't put it in their hands. That's not the proper way of doing it, even though I've done it a lot of times because it's such a small amount of money, but that's not the proper way of doing it. A third party needs to hold the earnest money deposit. A title company, a closing attorney.
Okay, let's go down.
Really? Oh, okay, yeah, that's one of my more heavily followed areas is Dallas. Top 5 is Atlanta, New York, according to my text stuff. Atlanta, New York, Dallas, Houston, Chicago, which are the biggest cities.
Basically.
You know, so basically, you know what I'm saying. But it still breaks it down by percentage too. So, but again, it's still more people in those areas. So, quite naturally, it's gonna be that. So, the ham up there a little bit though.
Whatever.
Did we touch on the subject of wholesaling houses part-time? A little bit more?
Oh, that is the title. We about 30 minutes in. I guess we can. So the title. Did somebody say that, or that's just you?
No, that's just me.
Okay. All right. So we'll go. So the title of this particular video, I guess I thought you were going to talk about wholesaling all part time. Most people, okay, can you wholesale houses part time? Yeah, most people have to start out that way, no matter the business endeavor you're in. Now, some people quit their job cold turkey. They feel either a couple of things are going on. They might not make it a wise decision. They've already prepared themselves financially to be able to take care of six months to 12 months of actual living expenses. Or that job wasn't hitting on nothing anyway. So, so it's one of them two things going on. But I don't advise that. Bills still have to be paid. Only you know what your responsibilities are and who you're responsible for, if that's the case. So, if you don't have any money coming in, nothing is guaranteed in this entrepreneur thing. It ain't for everybody. Trust me, it's not for everybody. You have to wrap your mind around, I don't know when my next payday is, right? If you're comfortable with that, and ready to put the work in, entrepreneurship is yours or whatever. So you have to get past that hurdle. Now, we deal in a world as far as real estate and wholesaling, you get money in chunks. So even if you're just getting one deal a month, if you're averaging $10,000 a month, even if it's $5,000 a month, most people can live off that. In most markets, some markets that's nothing, but for most of the country, $5,000 a month. Especially if you weren't already making that, that'll suffice. $10,000, most people can live off that. $10,000 a month. $15,000 a month, most people can live off that. And so I think you all getting the point. So, but only when you'll get to that point where now your job is getting in the way of you making more money because you've already made some money wholesaling. Again, ideally, you want to have a minimum of 6 months of living expenses saved up, even though, and I'm just thinking back, I didn't have that when I quit. Did I have that? I probably had that. I had that. I'm sorry. Yes, I did. It's just I still wasn't, what's the word? I wasn't fruit. When you cheat. Frugal with my money. I wasn't a good shepherd with my money. This was pre-2008 or whatever. And I felt it when the market crashed, See, when the market crashes, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, that's when you really make some money, right? That's when you really make money in real estate because there's going to be a lot of discounted real estate on the street. Just an unlimited amount of opportunities, which is a lot of opportunities now. But when the market changes in real estate, it's for the worse. the opportunities just get crazy or whatever, but you have to be prepared to seize on those. Not saying you just got to have money. You still have to, if you just understand techniques on how to make money from particular opportunities that will surface, the world is yours. So that's why when people say, well, what are you going to do when the market crash? Nothing. Just waiting on it, hoping it. Not saying I want bad things to happen to people, but just from an investment standpoint, it's a great time to be in real estate when so-called market is crashed, because there's a lot of cheap real estate out there. Normally.
David Taylor, he's answering your question. He said he's in Bloomington, Indiana. He's the one who can't find a title company.
Okay, so.
And then he also said, I do not have a deal in place, but I'm looking into getting my ducks in line. So when I get a deal, I can go directly to them and get the work done.
Now, there's different opinions on this. I'm just telling you from my experience, right? You could do all of that and have a, what's happening?
It's on TikTok. It's saying those connection on TikTok. Now.
Oh, okay, it's still on? Okay. So you could do all that, David, have a great relationship with a title company, have a contract with a seller, a buyer in the contract, and you say, well, we're going to close with something. And the buyer said, oh, I don't know them. I don't deal with them. This is who I deal with. You want me to buy the house, number one. You want me to pay closing costs. This is who we're going to go through. So that's why I don't push so-called getting that in place, a title company or a closing attorney, because it's probably not going to matter, because the buyer is going to dictate that. The simple thing you could do is go into a local Facebook group or mine. You can text the word group to the phone number 5243, Wholesale and Real Estate with the Flip, man. You could join my group, and you just simply ask the question, what title companies or closing attorneys, depending on your state, are wholesaler friendly in Bloomington, Indiana, or whatever city. Which I wanted to know that. What is it? That's all. That's small. What's the metro? What's the metro area? Like, great, because it might be part of a larger area.
Okay. This one is from Sharday Martin on YouTube. I hope I said that right. She said, are there certain qualifying questions to ask a tired landlord when they have tenants?
When they have tenants, well, number one, you want to know if they're paying on time. You want to know the amount of rent that's being paid. What are they responsible for as far as utilities or whatever repairs, if any, if it's negotiated that way. Are they month to month? Or are they on Section 8, or is it just straight rent, normal rent? Just want to know those factors. So, and obviously how long they've been there. So.
All right, this is on Instagram. Can you wholesale a pre-foreclosure home?
Yes, you can wholesale a pre-foreclosure home. Some of those can be just very simple and very profitable, especially when the equity is already there, and you don't, and the owner obviously willing to give it up, and you don't have to try to do a short sale with the lender, with whoever they paying that mortgage to negotiate the equity. Now, if it's a situation where you have to go through a short sale process, then it can be very difficult to wholesale it, because you can spend 30, 90, maybe 120 days dealing with the bank or the lender just to get an answer back to them as far as the price that they would accept, and then it's not a price that works for you. So, and then if that does happen, normally you're going to want a realtor involved, and you're going to have the right type of buyer for it. But yeah, it can be done. It can be very difficult though if a short sale is needed. But if it's just a situation, the house is worth $300,000, they owe $80,000, and they'll sell it to you for $130,000. Then even though they're in foreclosure, then yeah, assuming the repairs are not that extensive, then it's just a normal deal at that point. So. Right. And the other thing, but that's the positive. The other thing about pre-foreclosures, there's a lot of competition at those, because when they think about real estate investing, one of the first things of finding a great real estate deal, the first thing they think about is foreclosures and pre-foreclosures. All right, so it's a lot of competition. You have to think about it also. If that person is going through pre-foreclosure, that's their main bill. Your mortgage payment, your rent payment normally is your main bill. If that bill is not being paid, guess what? In a lot of cases, some other bills are not being paid either. So a lot of debt collectors are calling them. So, so they just don't normally just answer the phone, right? Ask me how I know. So they don't answer the phone. Everybody calls, they want something. And so sometimes it's hard to reach them. That's where door knocking may be more useful in those situations to reach them, because a lot of times they're very difficult to reach. And plus, you're not the only one probably calling them in a lot of cases. So not to discourage you, just trying to give you the real on it. There are easier deals out there than pre-foreclosure is my point.
All right, well, I lost the connection, so they probably won't even get this.
Okay, so to go back to that question.
It's still not on Wi-Fi. It's off Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah.
It's
but
just going in and out on
Okay,
TikTok.
okay, that's probably gonna do it. Go ahead.
To go back to that Bloomington, Indiana question, Bloomington, Indiana is an hour and 11 minutes from Indianapolis, Indiana. So
Yeah, that's a long way.
try Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's a good distance from what's the name, but that's definitely close enough where Indy would be should be some of your target market also. But I don't think you'll have a problem closing a deal if you have a deal in place, and just do as I suggested. Just ask some other wholesalers in the market, who's wholesaler friendly. So.
All right, this is on TikTok. Is there a way to come properties in Texas without MLS access?
Very difficult. That's where services like PropStream or Batch Leads come in handy, because they'll pull those MLS listed properties. So again, if you want to sign up for it through digulator.com, you want to get the free training. After you signed up, text the word time to the phone number here, 205-964-5243, and we'll train you on how to use it properly.
All right, we got somebody I'm about to add to the chat. His name is Joseph Garcia.
Joe.
So I'm about to add him to the stream.
JC. No, JG.
Hopefully, he'll like it. All right, we got somebody I'm about to add to the chat.
Joseph Garcia.
So I'm about to add him to the stream.
No, JG. What's happening, man? You live? Joseph Garcia.
What's
Hey,
going
you
on,
live? Hey.
You hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. My question is, can you find success in wholesaling without a mentor? You know what I mean? Do you have to have a mentor, or is it possible to start closing deals without one?
Oh my God, yes. Most people would do this without a mentor. Most people that succeed in this do it without a mentor. I didn't have one. Didn't even. All I had was a bootleg course that I purchased. Basically, a course that I spent that would normally cost $1,500. I spent $400 on it, right? And so that's all I had. I didn't know anyone that knew about it in the course. It was one of Ron LeGrand's course back in 2003. I think the course was actually recorded back in '97. And he said, one of the things he said in the course, he said, you're going to finish this course and you're going to go out and ask one of your realtor buddies, is this legal? Right? And they're going to tell you it's not legal. And hopefully you won't listen to them. And guess what I did? I did exactly that, because I still had questions, right? Even though I went through the course, I still had questions. So I went to ask one of my realtor buddies, right? And he told me exactly what he confirmed Ron knew what he was talking about by saying exactly what he said he was going to say, that no, you need a license. It's illegal. So it just reconfirmed to me that, oh, okay, that's right. A lot of ways to make money is on things that most people don't know. The masses don't know, right? Either that's one of the ways to make money, on things that the mass majority of people, if you walk into any mall or Walmart or Target or somewhere like that and ask 10 people, have they ever heard of wholesaling real estate? And 9 of them have never heard of it before. So But to answer your question, Joseph, no, you don't need a mentor, man. Now, everybody learns different. Obviously, if you have something that you can bounce questions off of that has experience at it, then yeah, obviously that makes it easier. You know, yeah, you want to do that, but I'm just, to answer your question, you don't need one to do this, especially with the amount of content that's out there that's free, especially what I give away. You know, it's literally all there on my YouTube channel. So, but to answer your question, no, you don't have to have one to do this.
All right, man. I appreciate you, Flip, man. Big fan.
No problem, man. Thank you, sir.
Bye, Joseph.
Joe.
All right. So this one is from Marco from YouTube. He said, what's a good list? What's a good list to pull to get the best results on sellers?
Well, I guess he's referring to PropStream, aka Digulator. Now, Marco, if you signed up through us, through Digulator, you know, we'll show you some list options to pull. But to just try to go through it, and a lot of people that are watching this have no idea what I'm about to say. So, but I'm gonna answer your question. Normally, it's just so many ways you can pull a list, because you can get in there doing free and clear. You can do hot. Free and clear normally means they don't owe anything on the property as far as a mortgage. High equity means that they owe a mortgage, but they may have 60% equity there to be, you know, profited from if they're willing to give it up or most of it up. You can do tax liens, divorce, bankruptcy, out of town owners, out of county owners, but they live in the same state. You can do senior owners. You can do tired landlords, pre-probate. So there are a number of lists that you can pull. So then once you do that, you can filter it even more. It can be non-owner occupied, which means absentee. Doesn't have to be that, but that's another option, meaning they own the property, but they don't live in it. That's what absentee owner means, or non-owner occupied means, is that they own the property, but they don't live in it. Why do you target those? Because it's more likely, just from a numbers game, that someone will sell a discounted piece of real estate if they don't own the property. I mean, if they don't live in the property versus the one that they do live in. All right. So, or a lot of people like to target vacants. I don't really care if it's vacant or not. Some people want it where they've owned it for X number of years, 1 year, 2, 5, 10, or whatever. So there are several ways to break down that list. But again, a good video you can watch if you text the word text to the phone number up here, 205-964-5243. Even though that video is about text messaging and how to do it the proper way, in the beginning of that video, I show you how to build a list also. But again, if you've signed up through Digulator.com for PropStream, you text the word time, we'll that's part of the training, is building lists.
All right. Trying to knock some of these out. This was from Richard from YouTube. He says, I've been talking to a seller who's actually an agent. I sent him the contract, but he wants $1,000 due diligence, but I don't have that. Can I still get it under contract and have a buyer pay for it?
Well, Mr. Richard, that's one of the reasons why I recommend newbies avoid agents, because generally they're going to want $1,000 earnest money deposit. Now, it's supposed to be all negotiable, but they're the gatekeepers, so I guess they're doing their job or whatever. And then they're normally going to want proof of funds. But to answer your question, it's a timing thing. I guess you could, but the agent is normally going to be so involved in it that it makes it difficult for you to do it that way, where the buyer puts up the earnest money, because you'll have a contract between you and the seller, not the buyer and the seller. So with an agent involved, that makes it a little bit more difficult to do it that way. But just overall, man, I just recommend that you avoid properties that are listed with agent. That's just a couple of reasons, but just think about it. Number one is listed. So what makes you think this is a great deal? Number one, what's the ARV and what's the actual price you can get it on the contract for? Great deals do not last on the internet more than a day or two, if it's truly a great deal. Not saying that you can't negotiate something into a great deal. That is very possible, and people do it all the time. I'm just saying, for newbies, if you're even asking this question, normally that means you probably don't need to be dealing in that world. It's just a different ball game dealing with agents when you're trying to wholesale.
All right, this is on TikTok. Have you completed any wholesale deals in Virginia?
You know what? Actually, I think I have with me and D'Amica, Miss White. I think we actually have done one there.
All right, this is on Instagram. Is it hard to wholesale in expensive cities?
Well, I guess you're talking about maybe like the Bay Area, Los Angeles, San Diego, New York City, maybe parts of South Florida or whatever. Generally speaking, you're talking, if you're talking about the A neighborhoods, possibly some of the Bs, it's a little bit more difficult, but all neighborhoods have A, B, C, and D, right? All cities, I mean. So, and I got, you're probably comparing the prices of those houses to like when we're talking about here in Birmingham or Atlanta, maybe out in Texas or whatever, and then you start talking about the properties out there in California, New York or whatever, it just dwarfs it and be the same type property, same type neighborhood. Don't worry about that part of it. You'll do the exact same thing that we do, and your checks will be 3-4 times bigger normally. So just get in there and make it happen. You still have people that die in those cities. They get divorced. You're still going to have tired landlords. You're still going to have people that lose their jobs and or income. People still have medical situations that require a lot of money, and they need to liquidate some real estate fast in order to pay that doctor's bill or that medical bill. Kids going off to college, relocation. I think you get the point. Life exists in those cities, life situations, which normally causes problems. You're going to create motivated sellers. So your job as a wholesaler is to be effective at letting people know you exist. Marketing, aka marketing.
All right, this is on TikTok. Where can a part-time worker get a loan to purchase an apartment complex with 8 or more units?
He said, what kind of part-time worker? That's what he
Get a
said.
loan. So if he's part-time, how can he get a loan?
Well, understand lending, my man. Might be a young lady, I don't know. That number one, they're going to base it on credit in most cases. Even if they don't, they base it on the asset itself. They're still going to want you to have a minimum down payment amount, normally 20%. So to give you some quick math here, if the property is, if what the loan you're looking for is $100,000, if they want 20% down, that means they're only going to give you $80,000. So so what's the number, Jessica? 20% of 100,000. 20% of 100. I gave an easy example. 20%, 1,000, 100, 20,000. Yeah, 20. What dang? No, I want to ask y'all. It's 20,000. So that means you're gonna have to have a $20,000 down payment, right? So there you go. So if that's not a hurdle for you, then there are going to be some options out there to get that type of lending, assuming the numbers make sense on the price of the property, condition, and so on. But if you don't have that, then you're in the right place right now, because this gives you an opportunity to make money, build capital, and now you can go out and buy that 8-unit apartment building or 80-unit apartment building. So, you know, real estate investing in most businesses are a marathon, not a 40-yard dash. So you have to have the patience, be willing to put the work in to make it happen.
All right, this is on Instagram. I know you invested in other sources of income with the new infrastructure bill just passed. Have you looked into solar panel companies to invest into?
I looked into that years ago or whatever. And at that point, I didn't like what I saw, you know, as far as the return on the money or whatever. It seemed like it's from what I found, at least the rabbit hole I was going down is capital intensive, as they say.
All right, Wish Me Well from YouTube said, I have a lead, but she has a $10,000 water bill in her name.
Oh.
Do you think this is a good deal?
Well, there's not enough information. If the house is worth $400,000, $10,000 water bill, she wouldn't let you have it for $100,000. Great deal. House worth $50,000, $10,000 water bill, needs void and repair. Terrible deal. Not enough information.
All right. Kyle Brown. He said, as a newbie, which areas which areas of sellers should I focus on? Free and clear, liens, vacant, and etc.
I like free and clear. Liens would be good too, but I like free and clear. And then maybe obviously going to do the property characteristics, residential, single family, owner type, individual. And we're talking in terms of him building a list, I guess, through PropStream. Own for at least a year. If you're in a larger market, then you may can go up to 5, maybe even 10 years. Depending on the market, you may even do out of state, it even scale it down some more. So, just depending on how many results it produces will determine that. But I like that free and clear and possibly liens, but that's separate list though.
All right. Derek English said, I
I don't care if
finally
it's vacant or
turned.
not. Go
Huh?
ahead.
Sorry.
I don't care if it's vacant or not. Go ahead.
My bad. Derek English said, I finally turned 18 on the 20th. How often do you partner?
Derek, congratulations on your upcoming birthday. I turned 18 on the 20th. What's tomorrow? Oh yeah, wow. So when that is? Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. All right. So yeah, if you text the numbers 5050 to the 205-964-5243, let's get it.
All right. Reginald Thomas said, my back is against the wall. It's all or nothing. And I just got your book. My action today is to set up Google Voice and order some signs. Beyond that, I'm winging it, but got nothing else left to lose.
Well, I don't know what your situation is, Mr. Thomas, but if you have your health, and especially the people you care about have their health, everything is a bonus.
You're a rich man.
And nothing can defeat you, my man. But just take your action. 10, you got the thing at 5, right? You got something at 5,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I told you he
He wanted to read. That's right.
Okay.
But,
All right. This one's from David Taylor. He said, would you recommend a subject to deal for a pre-foreclosure deal?
it depends. Too many factors to determine that or not. It depends.
All right. Sean Wood said, what's going on, Flip? I have a seller that wants to sell, but the house is a shotgun style house. How would I comp that? It's going to be a no for you. Dog. And he said it's in Belgium. Nope.
He local. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that. He said it's in, what he said it's in
He
Bessemer.
said it's in the Bessemer area.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Sean.
Next. Not that hard to
the next
wholesale.
one.
I've been doing this a long time. I haven't did a shotgun yet. I've tried.
Let's see. Tony's
And
hobby
Bessemer,
channel.
definitely.
Bessemer, no.
In that part of Bessemer, yeah.
Yeah. Tony's hobby channel said, bless you, sir, and your team. You guys rock. And he's telling everybody to ask you because you have a lot of information free of charge. Samuel from YouTube said, what are your views on fire damaged properties?
At the end of the day, they're just repairs. Fire damaged properties are just repairs. So I just had a brilliant idea.
What?
But it ain't got no
Off camera.
off camera. All right, but fire that just repairs. Now sometimes properties are so severely fire damaged that it's just a tear down. But if not, it just boils down to repairs and ARV like any other property. Now, a lot of buyers don't like to deal with fire damage, and some love them. Again, it just boils down to repairs.
All right, I'm gonna have like 3 more.
Oh.
Mr. Scott said, how do you get the updated list? I find PropStream does not have updated data.
Mr. Scott, as far as updated data, just understand that depending on what type of list you're pulling in the county, the information in PropStream, batch leads, or any of these other tools like that, they're only going to be as accurate as what the county that you're targeting provides to the public. They don't have any control over that. That's on the county level, how accurate and how current the information is. Now, and if it's a list of like vacants, they're pulling that information from the U.S. Postal Service. So it's only going to be as accurate and as what the Postal Service makes available. So that's not going to matter what service you're using.
Yeah. Okay. They also asked, where do I find apartment buildings for sale?
Now, if you're just trying to find apartment buildings for sale, you can just go to online and just Google apartment building for sale. But sites like Google and Crexy.com crexy.com. I'm sorry, not sites like Google. sites like LoopNet. You can find some apartment. I think they may have changed it, but I think they still have stuff on there for sale. But crexy.com, that's CRE, like commercial real estate, and the letter X, like, what's a thing for X?
Xylophone.
X-Men.
Oh, okay.
I like,
What?
I'm saying, what's that? Income. So Crexy, so CRE, commercial real estate, X like X-Men, I like income. So it's Crexy.com.
All right. This one's from Sandra. She said pre-foreclosed house is the same as a regular wholesale deal, meaning can you use the same one-page contract?
Yeah, if it's an actual opportunity, that one-page contract will still work with a pre-foreclosure deal also. Because I'll see the contract is only to initiate the process. So guys, we've been rolling pretty hard here. Got on a little earlier, better early than late, I guess. So make sure that you share this, like, and again, put that thing up over, boy. I released a video today with my man Greg out of Atlanta. Made 90 big ones. He and a partner wholesaling a commercial property. He tells that story. Very, very good information. Just so impressed with this young man. Still live with his parents. That's not the only deal he's done now. That was just the first one. When he hit me up there, I just closed another one for $65,000. Still living with his mama, right? Ain't out there going out there buying stupid stuff. He understands there's a long game here, right? I said, my man, hey, hats off to your parents for raising an amazing young man. He college wasn't for him, was going to be studying mechanical engineering, but was miserable.
I say he saw them classes.
Hey, was miserable. But he got to sort of on that level already, you know what I'm saying, to even be pursuing something like that, because the Tyrone Taylors of the world couldn't have went down that lane. Hey, just an amazing story. So anyway, I guess we'll be back tomorrow. We said we're gonna start doing it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're already live in the evenings on Thursdays and then on Sunday. So we're trying to give you the best that I got. I don't know the rest. If I knew the rest, I'd still be singing it. But anyway, so we'll see you.
If you didn't get your question answered, or if you have any questions, you can comment under this video, which will be in replay mode on Instagram and Facebook. It'll also be on YouTube. You can comment on any YouTube video, or you can text the word question to 205-964-5243. Okay?
All righty.
See y'all tomorrow.
Check out that video with Greg.
Text me and I'll text you back. Text me and I'll text you back. Text me then I'll text you back. You text me then I'll text you back. Text me then I'll text you back. TikTok, you don't stop. I will help you make your paper stack. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now? 205-964-5243. Yep. 205-964.